on. Sorry for that. Wasn't meaning to just kind of lean into. All right, so I'm gonna keep working on my Toothless or How to Train Your Dragon sling bag. Having trouble thinking. I've been a little worn out, as you can tell. I'm wearing Girl Scout stuff. It has officially started with Girl Scout cookie season, so my girls are in full swing, and being troop leader, it means cookie season. Hi, Annette. So I'm going to be working on a park sling, which is by So Sweetness, just to show you the pattern. There are two different sizes. I'm making the larger size because I plan on taking this. We hope to go sometime this year to Epic Universe. So I plan on trying to make one. And just to show you, this is the sling bag in the small size. This is one I made about 6 years ago to go down to Disney, if you can't tell. But this is the style of bag. Has lots of awesome pockets. Specifically, like you have a zipper pocket, a slip pocket, and this is a big pocket. And then you have on the back side, you can see I use this to take the gym just to show you what's in it. You have another zipper pocket, a mesh pocket, and in this one, I actually added extra that's not in the pattern. I added card slots. So that's not something that's in the pattern. That's just something I added myself. I'm adding something a little different in this one as well. Because going down to like Epic or stuff like that, I want to have an air tag in case I would lose it so I can find it. So just to show you, last time, it's been a couple weeks, just to show you. Now, here's a couple things different I do. When I do the large one, I actually add a pocket on the front. And so when I do that, I will actually cut the pieces bigger, get my pocket in, and then trim it down to the pattern piece. Now, last time I did the inside pockets. So we have the zipper pocket with the slip pocket. That'll be in the front part of the bag. Then I did the zipper pocket with the mesh. Now, one thing I did this time that I have not done previously is I actually sewed a seam in the mesh pocket just so it will hold stuff without falling all the way down, as I learned the hard way. And in my last, there are 3 lining pieces in this. My last piece, I made it itty bitty, if you can see how small, an itty bitty zipper pocket with another slip pocket so I can stick that air tag I was talking about. See, it's barely just enough to stick my fingers in. It's probably bigger than I need, but I wanted something I can seal. So it's just kind of out of the way and be hidden. All right, so where I was last time was I had done all that. So basically it's putting the zippers together now with the main body of the exterior and the lining. So at this point, we have 2 pieces of zipper tape. One is longer than the other. In the pattern, you have 3 zipper tabs. The longer one, you put zipper tabs. And if you notice, I've already put my double-sided tape on. You put the zipper tabs at both ends. For the shorter of the 2, you only put it at one end. And it's at the top end. And that'll come into play later. I went ahead. So when I put zippers in, I put double-sided tape a lot of the time just so that it will stay in place. I still use clips or pins, but I will use double-sided tape, especially when you have a bag, just to show you. It's a curve, so it's more likely to move. So I use double-sided tape. So at this point, I need the one with the 2 zipper tabs. Now, if you can see, my zipper tabs are wider than my zipper tape. At this point, I trim that down so that it's even. which helps. It's always better to go ahead and attach it and then trim it down, because then it's out of your way. All right, so we're going to make sure zipper facing up. And I'm going to go ahead and actually going to go ahead and do one more thing. I'm going to go ahead and put double-sided tape. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I love the Tula Gray work. I finished the Place for Everything for a customer using the Tula Gray work. I loved how it turned out. Now, I did put my double-sided tape on the front, but with this pattern, you really should put it on the back side too. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And yes, you could put it on the fabric versus the zipper tape. I find it's easier just to put it on the zipper tape. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the back. I haven't made that pattern. I have a lot of patterns I want to make that I don't always have time for, which is why I am making this one for myself as kind of a selfish sew. I've got a lot of orders at the moment. I just mailed off a Place for Everything using the Echinacea print, the Echinacea Glow with orange accents. It was very cool looking. So right now I am sticking, and the zipper pull is wanting to be annoying. Now make sure you are, at this point, you should already have your zipper pull on. Now this is sewn at a 1/4 inch seam allowance throughout the entire pattern, and that makes things a little easier. So we're going to get the other side of this one done. And when we get to the other zipper tape is when I will put the the double-sided tape on the back side of that one. I'm going to do it so I don't have me just sitting here sticking double-sided tape on the zipper. But I'm excited to go to Epic later this year. I'm a huge How to Train Your Dragon. Well, that's cool. I've done a couple Noodlehead patterns and a couple Sally Tomato patterns, just not done a lot. So Sweetness was actually one of the first ones I did as one of the big names out there. I've branched out a lot since then, but she's still one of my favorites, at least for her messenger bags and things like that. Okay, so I have put double-sided tape on both sides of my zipper tape. So I am going to take the double-sided tape from the front, and you're going to put right sides together of your zipper tape and your front panel. And so I just take it little by little. Now, one thing when you have to make sure is that you follow the cutting instructions, because when you cut these, you cut for the lining and the exteriors, you cut them mirror images because of the shape. So it does come into play. I love her patterns. They're very well thought out, I think. And sometimes with this pattern, you have to adjust on the way up and way back because it is a curve. And that's why the double-sided tape is nice, because you can kind of, pull that up and you're not unpinning the whole thing. You're redoing part of it, if that makes sense. I'm actually going to use a clip to hold that tiny little end. Just wanting to move. So I just kind of move it back down. And see that now my thing is right. Okay. So I had a little bit, and you see it does come up above the top, but it matches up at the bottom and the top with the zipper tabs. So what I will do next is to find my lining for it, which is hiding. And we put it together. Now the thing is this is like a lot of bag patterns that you will sew one side, then you press it out. So I'm pulling off my double-sided tape again on the other side of the zipper tape. Now you're not matching up to the zipper tape quite as much. You're matching up to the panel, since that's what you are matching. That's the big thing here, is that you match up with the panel, not the zipper tape as much. I mean, because you are matching the zipper tape at the same time, but you're not matching the zipper tape. You got to make sure your lining and your exterior match. That's the best way I can say. And try not to pull your fabric and stretch it while you're sticking it. And I said I will put a little clip here now that I've got that end on here. And I will continue taking it all the way down. Ends up looking so good. I said her patterns are great. I'm not doing a complete, you got to do it this way, because I do change things up. I mainly giving my input. Well, double-sided tape, that's not something she has in her descriptions or anything to do. That's just something I do that I have years, makes it a lot easier. All right, so I'm going to take you to the machine and we're going to sew this so you can see it's between that. No, I think my elder daughter has a Dragon's bag as well, and my younger daughter wants a Princess Peach bag, and my husband wants Universal Monsters for when we go. So it should be interesting collection of bags. So I'm just going starting, and just to make sure I stay in my 1/4 inch seam allowance, I will go slow because you are going on a curve. That's the biggest thing with this, is that it's that curve, and I have taken things out multiple times before. Don't let that dissuade you. I will tell you, with this pattern, the seam ripper is your friend. At least in my case, even after I've made so many of them. And what I'm doing right now, if you're wondering, is I am pulling my zipper pull out of the way. We're gonna actually pull it down because I'm trying to get over the okay. Okay, move that clip. That's always fun moving pulls close to the. There we go. Getting it under that the presser foot. That's always the fun part when you're doing. So if you have to completely lift up your foot to move the presser foot by, go ahead and do it. It'll save you a little headache later. All right. Okay. So we have one seam sewn. Move y'all back this way. So what I'm going to do now is we are going to press it. Okay. And I'm not actually going to press it. You should press it. What I'm going to do is I actually finger press it a lot of the time. But since I have zipper tape right here up to the zipper tape, I don't want to press it because then you have a melted mess and you got to start over. So I am going to finger press it. And I'm going to top stitch it. So we're going to go back and we're going to do an 1/8 of an inch top stitch. I'll move y'all back. Okay, so actually, we can talk about this first before I top stitch. To make your life simpler, pin all the way around to hold your lining, just so it stays together like you want it to. Because if you see, you have your foam, you're encasing that. So, I mean, anytime you have foam on one piece and not the other, it doesn't hurt to either baste it together or pin it together. I can't remember if I need it basted or not need it basted, so I don't want to not baste it and then have to take that out later, whereas pins work just as good. So don't use tons of pins, but enough that it will be in the right position. And if I need to later, I can baste it all the way around. So it's all one complete piece. Seems like we lost everybody for a minute. Hopefully everybody stays safe this weekend with the winter storm coming through. I know my neck of the woods is possibly supposed to get ice, maybe snow, but ice definitely. So I hope everybody's safe this weekend. I don't know what happened. Lost everybody for a moment. But like I said, right now I'm just pinning my lining and my exterior together because I can't remember if I need to baste it and basically have it treated like one piece or not. Ooh, hairball. That's what it feels like. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to to do my top stitching. Sorry for that. We're going to top stitch. So I'm going to move y'all back to the machine. Now, this is the case for most pattern designers, myself included, but it is an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. So just heads up. But like I said, that's for most pattern designers. Use top stitch as an 1/8 of an inch. If you're wondering why I'm moving extra slow right now, I'm going over where that one zipper meets the other. And I'm doing this, I turned it around back. Instead of doing back stitching, sometimes it's better just to flip your thing around. But this is adding another little zipper stop to me for that pocket. Okay. So if you ever have two zippers interacting, you can sew through them, as I just demonstrated, but you just have to take into account how much thicker that seam is there. Okay, so we have it top stitched. So I will turn you back this way. So we have the front top stitched, just if you want to see the top stitch on the back. And yes, I did do the extra stitching right here where it's thicker, but other than myself, that's just another way to kind of guard basically as a zipper stop. So we'll just put that back in the middle for right now. All right, so for the next part, I will pull off yet again the other side of the what's on the other side of the zipper, which in this case is this piece. And it starts at the bottom as well. And I actually like to move that down just a tad. And I will clip that. All right. But I will go and I will finger press this all the way to the zipper tape. Now this is where you need a pin or a clip because it is going around that curve, kind of like an opposite curve. And that's the biggest thing with this bag pattern is that you have opposite curves that come together to make this one awesome curve. So I take and I clip or pin, either way, even though I've got double-sided tape, because that's only going to hold it so far. When I get to a point, basically you're making that piece form to the other one. So I clip it in place. And then that's actually perfect. It ran up right to the edge. It's perfectly aligned. That's when you know you've cut out all your pieces. Everything matches out right. All right, so we have that. And I've clipped up at the top where, like I said, as you can see how it curves. So the main reason I do that is though that it does that. What I'm going to actually do is that I'm actually going to go ahead and sew this one on first because it likes to move. Then I will sew the lining on. And that's the main reason is because this likes to shift, as you can already tell. So move this back. And I usually start where I'm going to have the most issue. Which is where it is the most ornery. Probably the best way to put it. So I just take my time going around that curve. Moving the zipper pull out of the way. Any questions so far? Like I said, right now I'm just sewing the what goes on the other side of the first zipper. Okay, so I will double check that everything is right this way. Okay, everything looks good. So now we're going to attach the second side or the lining. And apparently getting attacked by my pins I have in here holding those layers together. All right. I'm going to pull off my double-sided tape again after I cut some threads. I said, I think the signal keeps going in and out because of this lovely weather system that we have coming this way. So that's not helping things. But hopefully we will all mostly come out unscathed from the winter storm, hopefully. I'm starting to go around the curve again, and I do. So whenever you have a bag that has a curve in it, more than likely pieces are going to be opposite curves to make the type of curve you want. At least that's been my experience. Sometimes it's rare. More than likely, it looks like we're going to be getting more ice than snow this time. And I hate to say it, we're more used to ice than we are snow, but that doesn't mean we're equipped for either. We just don't get it often enough to need it one way or the other. So we aren't prepared for it. The jokes about the bread and milk, they're true. That is a southern snowstorm, winter storm, whatever you want to call it. I just make sure I have fuel for a propane stove and stuff for sandwiches. Milk's not so much. It's more the have like sandwich meat, stuff like that. But now I'm doing exactly what I had to do the last time. You kind of just move your piece down a little bit down the double-sided tape to make it where there's no little bumps or anything like that. So we have the second side. We're supposed to get freezing rain. So not really happy about that because that turns to ice. But all right, so I'm going to stitch that together. Plus, it's messing up with my girls. They have some cookie booths set up to sell this week. And if it's bad enough, we won't be able to have them. And we just started selling cookies last weekend, and this was going to be the first set of booths. So that would be fun. They both have pretty lofty goals this year. My older one wants to hit 2,000 boxes, which I think is doable. She's hit about 1,700 before. My younger one wants to hit 800 boxes, and she's come close to 700 before. So I think it's doable, even though she may need a little help from older sister, like she did last year for her goal last year. But we'll just see. Makes things interesting. Yeah, we had a kind of a nasty cold rain Sunday. It was not the most comfortable, but we still went out and sold cookies, just door to door. Actually, should I say fire department to fire department. Firefighters like cookies, apparently. So it works. But here's that last little bit. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay. So I was a Girl Scout up till about 2001. I was a Girl Scout for 14 years. Now I'm the troop leader. So um, this is my older daughter's 12th year and my younger daughter's 4th year in Girl Scouts. So I fully support it, at least as long as I'm going to do it. Once they stop, then I'm done. Now, I do know that I will be doing the next part, and I am just pinning these out of my way so I can get the good top stitch. Because I will actually, well, if you ever need to buy some from the girls, my daughters have a link in my pattern group that I posted, and they ship not worldwide, countrywide. So I've sent several different places before. So, and if you buy 6, you get the shipping for half off. At least between 6 and 12, you get the shipping for half off, which is a pretty good buy. Okay, we're just pinning this. And like I said, this is not a permanent thing. This is just me getting it out of the way so I can do my top stitching. Okay, so I am going to top stitch this sucker. And then we will have a nice, pretty front panel. And he said, you can take it and go press it, but sometimes finger pressing works just as well. And I realized I forgot to move the camera over, and I will do that in just a second. So you can see this is what happens. So if maybe it's not the worst thing for y'all to see. Sometimes your materials are hitting you in the face almost. So ow, hands sticking me. So I said, for this, it's okay. So we have the front and the back of the main panel now. So okay, so what we do is we actually take this and the exterior back and you put them over each other and you trim it down to where they're the same size. But that is where I'm going to stop for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and trim it down, but I'm going to go ahead and stop there for tonight. Just a little worn out today. I will pick this back up tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow. Next week. Tell you, I'm tired. And we'll get started on putting the rest of the bag together. I will talk to y'all soon.